Prominent mountain on this range. It's a little tricky to point out from here, but if you take the right hand side of the town, follow it directly up, a little to the left, you'll see possibly a Native American laying on his back with feathers coming down the mountain. It's a little bit easier once you get to the top. There's a couple of interpretive boards up there that'll point it out. They don't call it Old Man, they call it Rosh Bonom though, which is the translation. Next, out the back of the car and a bit to the left, we have the Victoria Cross Range. The largest mountain on this range is oddly named Pyramid Mountain. Further to the west, or by left, we have the Yellowhead Range. This range actually acts as the continental divide between British Columbia and Alberta, and it also acts as a water divide. So any water that falls on the west will flow into the Pacific. Anything on the east will flow into the Arctic or the Atlantic. We also have two major rivers in town. The first I'll start with, coming in from the west, running into town, is the Miette River. It's the smaller of the two. And the second is on my right. The more popular is the Athabasca River. The Athabasca originates about 100 kilometers east of here. We're just going to have a little sway over the tower here. It originates 100 kilometers east of here. And by the time the water gets here, it's about a week old. So it's kind of cool to think that a week ago, all that water was frozen glacier. And as we get a little bit higher, I can point out a couple of lakes now. On the right-hand side of town, we have three major lakes we like to talk about. The first being Lac Beauvert, or translated, means beautiful green lake. It's the horseshoe-shaped one. It also has Jasper Park Lodge, as well as a golf course over there. The golf course is internationally acclaimed. It's won some pretty major awards, and they have 18 holes, each facing a different mountain. So no two holes has the same view. A little bit past there, we have two other lakes, Lake Edith and Lake Annette. Both these lakes are very popular in the summer for swimming, although the water remains cold all year long. Directly in behind the car, we have two more lakes. Farthest away from us is Pyramid Lake. This one has a little island on it, and you can take pictures, and it's really popular for weddings in the summer. A little bit closer to us is Patricia Lake. Patricia was actually used as a World War II test lake, and there's actually a ship on the bottom made of concrete, ice and sawdust. And they actually built it out of that to see if it was detectable by radar. And they actually succeeded. It was totally undetectable by radar, but I don't know how practical it'd be to have a ship out of sawdust and ice. As we get a little bit higher, you'll notice the trees get smaller and smaller. Most of these trees, even if they're only a foot tall, can be 200 to 300 years old. Simply just the growing conditions are so harsh up here that they basically only have about a month each year to grow. So it's takes a pretty long time for them to grow. And as we get a little bit higher, we will get to the upper terminal. The amenities we have at upper terminal for 7,500 feet are pretty extensive. On the main floor, we have a gift shop as well as washrooms, men's and women's, both down the same hallway, obviously different rooms. Around the outside of the building, we have boardwalks. Most of these boardwalks had 10 to 15 feet of snow just a week ago, so we're slowly trying to dig these out. Most of them are open, but we still have some of them that are closed. They're roped off. You'll see caution signs. We ask that you stay on this side of the ropes because we can't guarantee the stability of the snow once you pass those ropes. Also, on the second floor of the upper terminal, we have a fully licensed restaurant. Being fully licensed, we do serve alcohol. We like to remind people that one beer at 7,500 feet is equivalent to 7.5 at sea level. So for every 1,000 feet you go up, you can add an extra beer, and we're at 7,500. So even compared to town, it's about 4 more than downtown Jasper.
You have to pay 4 times as much.
It's marked up a bit, but not quite 4. I think it's $7 a beer. But I guess you're drinking 7 in 1, so you're getting a discount.
Yeah.
As well, we have flights running every 9 minutes. So if you want to hop into the lobby, they'll get in the next flight going down. If you are planning on doing any hiking to the top, it's a 1.2 kilometer trail to the top. Again, it is at your own risk. If you do choose to hike though, there will be a horn to sound once we get closer to closing, probably around after 5. 20 minutes later, they will sound another horn. This horn means hurry up. If you are on the mountain after 5:30, you will be on the mountain alone, unless there are some other people that are also missing a flight. All the staff does go to the bottom, but as long as you're in the lobby by 5:30, we can make sure we get you down for sure. And just as we come into the bay here, we are running pretty smooth, so we might not, but we may have a couple bumps. Just kind of hang on to the